Hello again. Amber here with another quick message this time, very quick. I just want to read some words from one of my channeled writings. And I'm feeling the energy of this, right? We're here demonstrating. We're here. If you're here in my community, we are here demonstrating what living from the heart looks like. It's not easy. But what does it feel like to live from the heart? What does it sound like to live from the heart? It's a revolution to live from our heart instead of our mind. We've been taught mind over matter. We've been taught that our minds are more important than our hearts and our feelings. I'm going to say they work together. I'm going to say there's not one that is more important than the other. I'm going to say they both coexist. And when they do in a coherent way, that's when the power gets supercharged. And we find the peace and the sanctuary within, right? Because if the mind is a chatterbox, there's no peace, there's no sanctuary happening. The mind gets a little bit, and what does that happen to your body? What happens in your energy system? It gets like this, right? It feels like and you may not have words for it. Can't feel it, and it doesn't feel comfortable. And we try to dissociate from our body because it doesn't feel good when our mind gets into that loop. I'm gonna say it's a loop. It cycles around and around and around. So if we're activating our heart light, it's because we're finding the peace and sanctuary within. It's because we understand that we create our world. We create our experience, and we take responsibility for that creation, right? We take back our power. The mind can eject that power away. It can give it away. It can keep us in this victim consciousness, right? That's not what we're here to be. We're here to be empowered. We're here to be our unique expression of who we are here to be. So we are reclaiming that expression. We're here to collaborate with others, to collaborate with our hearts, sharing that light, right? Coming together in a community of heart lights and shining that brightly, growing that brilliance, illuminating the shadows for what they really are. Shadows are doorways to compassion, right? Because if we can sit in the shadow, we can be around the shadow and we can shine our light where the shadow is, that shadow dissolves. It allows us to have compassion for those who are in their shadows because we know what it took to get the light to shine on it, to see it for what it was, to bring love into it, to integrate it into our being, to recognize that our shadows are just as much of us as our light, and that we work back and forth, right? We play with both. The shadow lets us know the light. The darker the shadow, the brighter the light. We can see as a result of the contrast. As part of that finding peace and sanctuary within, we untangle from our past. We untangle from the conditioning that we have been in. Our families, our work organizations, our school organizations, the institutions that we belong to, all create conditioning, right? And there's shame associated with a lot of the ways that we have walked. Inner shame, stuff that we just don't like to talk about, stuff that makes us feel really super uncomfortable, stuff that drives us, motivates us to avoid instead of recognize and accept. And when we can take that shame and we can transmute it, we can release it, we can turn it into something that's gold. goodness sakes, that is called regaining our sovereignty, regaining the freedom from those invisible chains that are holding us in place. When we can connect with our heart light and have that peace and that sanctuary within, whew, we have the power to make decisions that are right and aligned for our own self. We don't rely on other people to validate them for us. We don't use other people as a means to not do the thing that's right and aligned for us, right? We make this our standard. We choose ourselves, and we open our heart. We open our heart to the magic, to the miracles, to the beauty that this world offers. In a time of craziness and tumultuousness and things that just don't make sense, being able to see the beauty and the magic and the miracles and the creation, that's the inspiration. That's the way shower. That's what you're here to be. To not get caught up in the herd, right? To shine your light regardless of what's going on in the outer world. That's the consistency. That's the certainty. The certainty that I'm here and I'm lit up. I'm certain about my light. I'm certain about my heart. I'm certain about the compassion that I'm here to offer. That's certainty. It's a different form of certainty. It's a kind that's foundational that you can stand on, right? And we can be aware of what feels off. We can be aware of what feels aligned. We can discern what's right for us as an individual here to express our unique signature, our unique place in the world. If you're here, I thank you. I thank you for taking the journey. I knew it took something to be here. I know that you've had to face shadows. You've had to face judgments. You've had to face your own worry, your own conditioning. And I know that if you're here, it's because you're looking for that peace. You're looking for that sanctuary. You're looking for that life that's meaningful, that's filled with purpose. Because I was in your shoes too. On that note, I love you. And I can't wait to see you next time.